You said the what?
The dating scene.
But there's a market for them though.
There is, and I will say,
is it? I don't.
Hold on. Time out real quick. All right, so I'm married, right? Ever since I started wearing my ring, I've been hit on.
Talk about it.
DM slid in.
Talk about it.
I've had coworkers approach me in a very sexual manner than when I was single.
I have a question. Were some of those women Nigerian?
A couple.
So like getting into the dating scene, like one thing that I knew I would never do was date an Igbo girl, and it was only because it was like and. So
please
sorry.
tell me, why would you choose
I'm not meaning to offend, but the idea is that, you know what I mean, Igbo girls only after the cash in a different way that in Europe. I would like, y'all are mad expensive. Mad.
We've seen a lot more white men wearing our clothes, putting on this thing, dancing with awkwardness. A lot of white men are just there. We see it all the time.
No. Hey, don't say that.
Yes or no?
He is saying.
He didn't even say that though.
With first generation Nigerians, I don't know why, but it seems like I always have to prove myself that I'm Nigerian enough to be considered a Nigerian. They'll ask me, oh, where's your family from? And I'm like, oh, from, Oyo State, Ibadan. Oh, where in Ibadan? And it's like, oh, they'll start speaking Yoruba to test if I understand. Right. Why? I'm in my business. I don't like
So, Nigeria is top 25 in the most dangerous countries in the world, and America is top 40 in the most dangerous countries in the world. Between the US, Nigeria, which one do you think is more dangerous?
I feel safer living in Nigeria, but I haven't lived in Nigeria in a long time. I was there I left when I was 17. But even now, I feel like I would feel safer living in Nigeria. I had cousins when I was younger. They came home, they live in California. They came home, somebody got kidnapped. It was really bad. They spent a lot of money to get the person back. And when my uncle left with his family, they haven't been back because of that. It was very terrifying. Because there's been so many kidnapping stories like that where in some cases you pay the money and you don't, obviously you don't get the person back, and the person might have been beaten horribly. So, and it's scary. I think the only thing that's really scary about that in Nigeria is that there's not really what people consider reliable law enforcement to take care of certain things that do happen. Like you don't have a 911, that you could call and people, they're going to show up at a, pretty decent time. But I still feel less safe here just because I don't know what it is. I feel like America and guns, I just feel like anyone could pull up a gun on me and shoot me and it's over. I also feel scared because you can call the cops and it could go anywhere. You never know how it's going to go. In Nigeria, at least you can depend on the fact that if you're getting help from someone, if someone is helping you because you're in trouble, your race is not going to factor into it. You don't have to have that extra level of fear, exactly, when you want to get help. But weirdly, I still feel less safe here, but I understand why Nigeria is there on that list, because it's just not a dependable system geared towards safety.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you feel? Where do you feel safest? I know you haven't lived in Nigeria.
So I haven't lived in Nigeria, so me personally, I don't feel safe here in America.
Yes.
Period. As a black man, I step out my house, and honestly, when I step back in, I'm like, damn, I made it through another day. Because especially living in Philly, anything can happen. Anything. We were talking about it earlier. I never pictured myself growing up as somebody that would have a gun license or carry a gun. That's the reality of being black in America. So I think, for me, I would feel safer in Nigeria because at least I'm around people that look like me. Like you said, I feel like and I've had my run-ins with the police. Like I said, I'm a black man in America. 1 out of 3 black men in America are arrested. 1 out of 3, 33%. So, 3 black men, 1 of them have gotten arrested.
Exactly.
At least.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think even my mother, like, I remember she was telling somebody on the phone, yeah, when my sons leave the house, I don't breathe until they come back. And this was around the time where all these like police killings were happening. Like it was a very heightened time in America. And I've had my run-ins with like the law being viewed as, oh, you're black, so you gotta be doing something. Like I've been followed throughout stores, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all that stuff is real.
Yeah.
But, I don't, like, I was born here. This is not my home. I don't feel at home here.
Exactly.
That sense of security, like, and safety, I don't have that. And to be very frank, I don't know if I will ever have that. Like I said, being a black man, our story is already scripted.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. It's up to you to try to, and even then, and beat the odds. And even then, may the odds forever be in your favor. Like,
how is that a life for someone, like a human being, to be like, okay, this is what this country has planned for me, and if I just make it past this age, I'm home free. And it's like, it sucks.
The crazy part about it is it's something that has been embedded even before, before our generation, before first generation Africans came over here. It's been embedded in black people. Even even Native Americans, like, they've completely wasted and eradicated the Native Americans, an entire race. Like, I do research here and there because of the field that I'm in. Like, you have to know what populations are going through mentally, because each population has different mental things that they go through because of the trauma through their history. Native Americans, like the reservations that they have for them, it's literally equivalent to the hood. Yeah. It's just like in the woods.
It's worse. Yeah.
And it's worse. Like, bro, like the amount of disease, the amount of drugs, the amount of all that they endure is even higher than like some of these black and brown communities.
Exactly.
And it's like, damn, so you guys really just don't care about brown people at all, brown and black people at all. Yeah. Like, their mortality rate is through the roof. It's insane. Yeah. But, coming back to our conversation, yeah, safety for me, even though I haven't lived in Nigeria, I just feel like I would feel more safe. Because at least, like you said, I won't be judged based on my color. Everybody looks like me.
Feels more comfortable.
If I have money, then they'll judge me because I have money.
It's always classism
that you gotta worry about. Yeah. Here we gotta worry about classism, racism, socioeconomicism, or lack thereof, like xenophobia, everything, bro. All the isms and phobias and things, like, bro, it's a lot. Like, and that's why, like, I'm even, like, I think about the field I'm in, mental health, like, dealing with, like, things in this country just will drive you crazy. Yes. Like, literally, like, some people, like, you learn that some people just are very simple, you know what I'm saying? Like, so their brain capacity to deal with certain things, it's not there. So then when traumatic things happen, they break. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
No, that's very real. Even what you talk about with mental health and also race being a factor in mental health, I feel like there's a lot of things that are not considered. Like I said, I grew up in Nigeria, and when I first came here, I never really had an anxiety of being a black person until I came here. Then it just really set in, because again, I was coming from a place where everyone looked like me, and now here, when I'm here, I have to think about not just the fact that I'm a woman, the fact that I'm a black woman before I step out the door. Exactly. There are people that don't have these forethoughts before they do anything.
Nope.
And I was watching a show recently where there's 2 women that dated this guy were talking about the guy. They're like, he never like I try to relate to him on things that I've been through, and like it seems like he just can't. Like it seems like maybe he hasn't struggled, and I don't want to believe that. But I was watching it like he's a white man in America. Of course, there's a possibility that's born upper middle class. Of course, there's a possibility that this man has not struggled. So he doesn't understand struggle. He cannot relate to struggle. So
it's like kind of like, let's say we were here, and then next thing you know, we were in an alternate universe.
Right.
You in the moment be like, how did we get here?
Right.
It's the same exact concept.
Exactly.
Because for people, especially white people that grow up affluent, for them it's like, how do you even move forward in a condition like that?
Exactly.
I can't even think about the conditions, but then to even take it a step further, how do you move in those situations? They can't comprehend.
And some of these people become, like you said, mental health professionals, and they're helping populations that they don't even understand the reality that these populations are living in. Like they're, like, you know, black people will go to therapy and they'll have like a white therapist, and they're saying things that are microaggression, and then the therapist is like, well, maybe, because there's still that element of trying to defend, like, whiteness is not bad. It's not, whiteness doesn't equal racism. So that level of exactly. So like things that you're going through as a black person, whether it be mental, whether it be physical, is being swept under the rug. So now you're walking with this constant anxiety and fear of what could happen next in this place where people have gone out of their way to show me that I don't belong, that they don't love me, they don't care about me. Anything that happens. And when you try to complain about that, what do they tell you? Well, go back to your country. Okay.
You know, it's funny, like, I think the last time somebody told me that it had to be like middle school, and I slapped him so hard that he never did it again, bro. Because, like, I feel like it's just very ignorant to say, go back to your country.
Yeah.
This is not your country.
Yeah.
Like, it was built on your backs.
Exactly.
But, like, what do you have to show for it?
Right.
Like,
exactly. You feel safe here, of course, because like everything that was created here was created for your safety and for your security. We were not even part of the conversation when these systems were being put in place. So it's like I feel safer in a country where everything that's put together, it's a little, it's a little messy, but
it's a little messy.
But I was part of the conversation when the systems were being put in place. I was thought about.
And it's an evil that you know.
It's an evil you know, exactly.
Because at least as long as you know the evil, you can fight against it.
Right.
How can you fight against the evil that you don't know?
You don't know.
And you can't see. And that's the thing, like, with a lot of, like, just black people in the diaspora in America. If you don't really know, you don't know. And then things are just flying by you, and you can't even defend yourself because it's like, you don't even know that it's being thrown at you.
Exactly.
Like, alright, so just a little history about Philly. In South Philly, like, a lot of South Philly was owned by black people. Like, it was, like, bro, this country, black people, terrible. But black neighborhoods across the, like, United States, randomly, just get bombed, just get destroyed. The 1985, I think, destroyed a whole neighborhood. Just a whole neighborhood of black people. Those black people, had they got to stay, they probably would have stayed. But the ones that, were still there in South Philly, it's sold quick.
Yeah.
Bro, keep that. If hindsight is 2020, if they knew, they would have kept their property. And that property right.
That's the plan. It's like they want to create a sense of desolation. It's just like, oh, this bad thing happened. It's gonna happen again.
Right.
You don't know. So now they've created the problem, and they come in with a different face to solve the problem.
Right.
Oh man, this place looks crazy. We're willing to buy your house though to get you out of here. And then now you think, thank God. Not knowing that the people that created this issue are the ones that are buying your house.
So, and you know what's
for that
funny?
reason. Next thing you know, there's a yoga studio, yoga, whatever, and now you can't even afford to live in your neighborhood.
Next thing you know, there's a Whole Foods that wait.
You're like, damn, we've been begging them to put a grocery store. And it's just like, no, we don't care if you eat.
Oh, right around where I live, they're building a Little. I'm like, wait, Little? A European store in the heart of North Philly?
Really?
Right in Rhode Broad and Gerard.
Whoa.
Right on Broad and Gerard. Oh, you went to Temple, so you know.
Yes.
Broad and Gerard.
That's a wild area. Like I walk really extremely fast on Broad and Gerard.
Broad and Gerard, they're building a little. It'll be done by maybe the end of the year, or maybe next year. A little.
God.
Yeah. So, all in all, safety with the people that look like us.
Exactly.
You know?
Agreed.
And because like even out here, like we're not gonna safe with amongst ourselves.
I was just about to say
You
that
know?
it's because of the like oneness people feel. There's very individualistic culture here.
Oh yeah.
And like I was even saying to someone, I might be wrong, you know, just because I haven't been home in a while, but from what I remember growing up, not saying that I want people down on their luck,
Yeah.
but I never really saw homeless people in Nigeria because I feel like there's this sense of family and community. If someone saw, let's say, like I had a cousin that wasn't doing well and it got so bad that she had to be on the streets. You know what people say? They'll be like, "Isn't that Chi's cousin?" I'm like, "Oh my God, like, what is their family
What are they
doing?"
family doing?
That's embarrassing to your family as a whole.
Right.
So anyone that can step in any capacity to have your back to cover, that's what my mom calls it, cover ourselves.
Right.
They will do that. So even if, whatever the situation is, you're covered because everyone is looking at it like, if you're out here, what's your family doing about that?
That's a fact.
But here, if like there are people that are like, I caught my sister off because they're doing this, that like maybe the person needs help at that exact moment that you've like left them flapping in the wind because they're like, the government can deal with her. Or she can, like I got my own problems. So people have that mentality. So imagine if that's their family member.
Right.
When you become a friend and they get desperate.
Right.
You're a mark
Right.
now.
That's a fact.
That's exactly, like you're just
That's
a mark
okay.
now. And like we were even just talking about recently how people this two girls got robbed.
Right.
And then and it was on video and everything. They found out the two girls that got robbed, one of them that was with her is one that set the whole thing up.
Yo.
And it's just like
I hear that too
can
much
you
though. It's
feel-
crazy.
That's the thing. I hear that too much here where people just put other people in positions in your life where they're catering to you and making you feel good and secure and safe just to pull the wrong rifle on you.
Nah, and you brought up something that's like, I feel like because American, let me not even say Western culture is so individualistic, it plays a role in how we view safety. Because like, honestly, if we more community based,
Yeah.
we'll solve conflict a whole different way.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And to your point, I've been noticing that like, the rest of the world is trying to adopt the Western culture. And it's like, don't lose yourselves because you were thriving for a reason. Like there were things, just because and the grass is always greener. Everybody looks at America and it's like, the land of milk and honey.
Exactly.
No, bro. There's a recession. That honey is $7 for 12 ounce. Please, bro. That milk, $7 for half a gallon. You're like, nah, it ain't that sweet no more.
Exactly.
It's not. So yeah. Yeah, nah. I wish growing up that I lived in Nigeria so I could see both sides. But just from the outside looking in, I would still rather be over there. I would rather bribe a police officer than worry about if that police officer is about to
shoot you. Exactly.
Sorry, like I just
know that police officer that you're bribing just wants money.
He just wants money
The
because you're trying to feed his family.
Exactly. That one is going back into the community one way or the other. But this one might just be like vendetta, hate. Nothing you do will change that. That's just how they feel. You meet the right person on the wrong day, and that's your life.
And I think cops need to be in school for longer than 6 weeks. I'm sorry.
Oh, of course they do.
Like, how do you?
It's like
do you know how many different
legal mob.
Like, you know how many different types of people there are in the world to now try to learn how to deal with all those people in 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Sure, insane.
You know why? Because it's the same thing with. That's why we don't feel safe here because medical journals. You want to know what a disease looks like on somebody. If you're not white, you're not going to know what it looks like on you.
Right.
Mental health. The same way, like if you're not a white person that's dealing with mental health, then the DSM-5 does not apply to you.
Ha!
Because it's like
Bro.
you're not taking race into consideration.
Not to even cut you off, because I'm in the mental health field, I have to use the DSM-5. And like the first time, like I remember I was in school when I first like was exposed to it, and I was just like, I can't relate to any of this, bro. Like, it's unrelatable because there are things that you guys aren't accounting for in other ethnic and minority and in other groups. Like, how you guys see something is completely different than how we see it. Like,
Yeah.
the same thing can be done, but we interpret it two different things because of our experiences, because of this whole nature versus nurture thing. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And even like yeah. Okay. Yeah, just ultimately I just feel like, feel safer
In Naija?
In Naija, because
Yes.
like here, even the government might set up like a whole thing to wipe out a small population, but in Naija that's not really happening. They just want money.
They just want money, and
They
you
just
always
want
see
money.
like it goes back to the evil that we know.
Yeah, that's it.